Once I have a decent amount, then I'll start investing. Like first, I need to save at least 100,000. Better 200,000 or even a million. Because otherwise, what's the point? I used to think the same way. It seemed that investing was only for people with capital, for those who already have money. And if you have 10 to 20,000 free, it feels ridiculous. Almost awkward to start. But here's the interesting part. Almost everyone investing big today once started small. And almost everyone who keeps postponing for better times continues postponing for years. And here's the main paradox I didn't realize at first. In investing, what matters isn't how much money you have right now. What really matters is when you started. Let's break this down calmly without complicated terms. No complicated words, no unnecessary pathos. So, what amount is actually enough to start investing? Let's begin with the most important factor, time. Imagine you invest 10,000 rubles every single month. Not a million, not half your salary, just 10,000. That's it. Let's assume average returns of 7-10% yearly. And you keep doing this regularly for 20 to 30 years. So what actually happens next? Your returns start generating new returns. Your money works not only from contributions, it also grows from accumulated results over time. That's when compound interest really kicks in. Many people seriously underestimate this powerful effect. Starting at 25 versus starting at 35 makes huge difference. Even if the second person invests more money, because investing is basically a long marathon. And marathons reward those who start earlier, not the ones who sprint fast at the beginning, but those who don't quit halfway. Can you start with 1,000, 5,000 USD? Yes, absolutely you can. It's not about building a fortune overnight. It's about building a habit. Think about it like going to the gym. In the first months, you barely see results, but you're building the system underneath. And after several years, everything looks different. Now, 10,000 to 30,000 per month is already solid base. You can build a simple, diversified portfolio. Some funds, some bonds, maybe a few stocks. If you have 100,000 or more, even better. It simply gives you more flexibility, but the core principle stays exactly the same. Investing isn't about putting money once and getting rich. It's about consistency and repetition over time. Now, here's an important moment. With what amount should you not start investing? If you don't have an emergency fund, don't start. If you have high interest debt, pay that first. If it's your last money, investing becomes stress. Investments should come from free money only. Otherwise, every market drop will hit your nerves. And stress leads to emotional decisions. Another beginner mistake is waiting for the perfect moment, when the exchange rate drops, when the market stabilizes, when my income becomes higher. Spoiler, the perfect moment will never come. The market almost always feels not ideal. But over a 10 to 20 year horizon, things change. Short-term fluctuations become just noise. And now, let's return to the question of amount. A small amount is not the real problem. The real problem is lack of a system. Someone earning 70,000 can invest 10%. Someone earning 200,000 can still spend everything. The difference is not income. The difference is behavior. If you learn investing with 5 to 10,000 first, you'll be able to invest 50 or 100 later, because by then, you already built the habit. Now let's talk about the practical algorithm. First, build an emergency fund for 3 to 6 months. That's your foundation. Second, define your goal clearly. Retirement, capital growth, passive income. Without a goal, it's hard to stay consistent. Third, open a brokerage account or IIS. Fourth, start with a simple portfolio. You don't need 20 different instruments immediately. Simplicity is power. Fifth, automate your monthly contributions. Better automatic investing than trying to time the market. And here's something interesting. After 1 year, you'll think differently. You won't ask what amount to start with anymore. You'll ask how to increase your monthly contribution. Because your psychology changes over time, you start seeing progress and capital growth, and motivation naturally follows. And here's the main conclusion. You can start with almost any amount. 1,000 is a habit. 10,000 is a system. 100,000 is scale. But the most expensive option is zero. Zero investing for years costs much more than starting small. 10 years from now, you won't regret starting small. You'll regret not starting earlier. Investing isn't about wallet size. It's about time horizon and discipline. Maybe the real question isn't, what amount should I start with? Maybe the better question is, why haven't I started yet?